Hello guys and welcome to a new WetalkUAV video. Today we have here the brand new Zhiyun Crane 3 lab, and of course we're gonna do a nice review. No more talking, let's go inside. Hello guys and welcome again, this is Alex with Chivo on the camera, and as I'm saying, this is the brand new Crane 3 lab by Zhiyun, and we're very happy to be testing this because, you know, in the past months we saw, and Zhiyun saw, like other brands such as DJI with the Ronin S and Goodson with the Moza, we're doing better job on gimbals because its predecessor, the Crane 2, was kind of old school. So the Crane 3 lab promises to be a revolution, but not only in technology, also for example in the way you hold it. Look at this, you're gonna be holding it like this. It's completely redesigned with a new system. We're gonna see this. Let's go. The first thing, of course, let's talk about the price. Oh, and before I forget, we're doing this video also in Spanish. We're gonna leave you the link in the description if you want to check that out and if you speak Spanish and feel more comfortable. You can find this in BH Photo if you're living in the US or just want to pay in dollars for $899 US. But if you're living in Europe and want to pay in euros, we found this for 1,049 euros on Amazon. We don't really know why, and we actually never understood how Zhiyun sells their products, but our recommendation is to look a little bit on the internet and search a little bit, and you might find good prices for that. Let's talk a little bit about the ergonomics and its revolutionary design. For that, the first thing we want to do, of course, is to set this up. Chivo's gonna put its camera here, he's gonna calibrate everything, and he's also gonna include the phone mount, the zoom control and the follow focus. This is the final look that you have with your full setup on the Crane 3 lab. And what's the most important? What's the thing we like the most? Well, of course, look at this design. For the first time in this kind of gimbals, you can use your second hand for something, not only for, you know, holding stuff. You have buttons everywhere that you can push. This system allows you that when you go down, for example, like this, it doesn't really weigh. It's not complicated. It is easy to use. There's a whole new world that I can do, that I can film with this system. And as I'm saying, the way that you can use your second hand allows you, look at this, that if you have buttons, that we're going to talk about them in a second, that I have full control of the camera without even touching the camera, because I'll have it connected to the gimbal and I will be able to, you know, set up everything with both my hands. And of course, the nice thing of using both hands is now when talking about the zoom control and the follow focus, on your left hand or the hand that will be down here, you'll be able to control the follow focus. Look at this. Look at how beautiful. And on the upper hand in this case, you will be able to, look at this. If I do it right, you can use the zoom control. And this will be awesome because besides that, you'll be able to change the modes. The Crane 3 lab comes, and as we prayed a lot in the past, with only 6 modes, 6 buttons that you'll be able to push once, to press once, and you'll enter this mode. On the upper part, if you can see the 3 buttons, the F stands for follow mode, POV mode, RE will be for repositioning and recentering the camera, and down here you'll have the pan follow and the lock mode. You just by setting and pressing once, you'll enter that mode. Finally, here again, you'll have the go button, which by holding, you'll enter the sport mode. Another great thing of the Crane 3 lab, if your camera is compatible, you have a chart online that on their website, on Zhiyun's website, in order to see if your camera is compatible. In this case, this one is not, but a 5D Mark IV or Alpha 7 S2 will be compatible, and you'll be able to change settings directly through this rear panel right here. ISO and shutter speed, you'll be able to set it up without touching your camera. Now let's go and finally test this and do some awesome cinematic footage. Now, without making this review too boring, talking about specs and details, we want to highlight a few of them that we thought that were worth mentioning. Inside the configurations, there are a few things that you can tweak a little bit around. For example, the speed of the motors, or the speed of the follow wheel, or the speed of the joystick. And among all those settings, you have 3 different speeds: low, medium and high. Also, and very important, when calibrating the camera, they include this little logs here, this red logs, in order to lock this axis so that you can calibrate it faster and better without having everything moving around. Another few things that are very interesting here on this gimbal are, for example, that you can take off the battery without having to take off the whole cam, because there is enough space. And not only this one, this is also capable of having a max payload of 4.5 kilograms. It can handle a 1DX2 or an FS5, for example. Also, the battery life is going to be up to 7.5 hours. And finally, the good thing about the plate is that you can use this, of course, also on a tripod directly. The 2 last things: one, it has a USB port Type A on the back for charging whatever you want, which is pretty awesome, and rechargeable and removable batteries in order to, buy as many sets as you want. And if they at some point start malfunctioning, you just can change them without no problem. Finally, let's talk about the app, and we have to say it's a pretty well developed app by Zhiyun, and it works good on Android, and you know that we are Android users. Basically, all you can do here is everything. You can move like the joystick, you can pan, look at this, I'm doing it with the app. You can pretty much set up everything, also the speeds of the motors. You can do whatever you want through this app. And the nice thing, right now it is connected wireless to the gimbal and via HDMI with this cable that is included in the box when you purchase it right here. That's a really nice thing, because most of the gimbals do not come with the cable, and then it's a headache to get one. We can have live stream 1080p on the screen of our phone. Even though there is some latency, we have calculated about a second. It is not too much, but anyways, it will help you to focus better. If your screen on the camera is low light, this helps pretty much a lot. Well guys, summing up a little bit what we thought spending this wonderful day with the Crane 3 Lab. Overall, we're super happy to be using finally both hands and having different settings for each hand. And what we loved also a lot was that every single mode has a button, so you don't have to spend time learning how to press 3 times and spin the dial to one way to get pan follow mode and all that. Also some other details, for example the lock buttons and all the system wireless for the follow focus and the zoom control. And overall, it is for a person that is happy without touching the camera. This means that we did not touch the camera at all today, so all the work we did was in our hands. Now, answering the question whether if it's a good gimbal as your first gimbal, absolutely. It is worth every single euro you're gonna spend on this, and in the end you just want some, stabilized footage, and it will stabilize your footage perfectly. And to the question if you already have another gimbal, upgrading to this one, well, it will depend. If your most important thing is not touching the camera and overall being a little bit more detailed about all that stuff that we talked about, yes, it is definitely an upgrade to some older gimbals. nothing really else to say, guys. We really hope that you liked this video. Lots of new things coming soon, also with this little boy here. And if you liked it, please leave the thumb, also for Chivo on the cam. And nothing really else to say. Always remember to keep calm and talk UAV.